Alright, so today we're doing a tier list on hero teammates in low elo. And by that I mean, how likely are you to win if this specific hero is on your team? This is specifically for low elo because I'm a low elo player myself. Currently Archon, peaked in Oracle. One day I'll be back in Oracle, but you know, hopefully with the new matchmaking patch. Pray to Yoshi, please, please Yoshi, get me out of here. I've been here for too long. Alright. So the first hero on this list is Abrams, and sadly, Abrams is one of those heroes you'll just have to carry. Like, there's two ways Abrams players play. They will either continuously run it down for the entire game and like end up with 15 or 20 deaths, or they'll be farming the entire game only to emerge for the last team fight, die, and then promptly lose the game. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. This is the only two ways that Abram players play in low elo. They will either feed or you won't see them for 40 minutes. Like, the only way you'll get an Abrams player that is farming to fight is if you bring the enemy to our jungle camps. Like, you have to play this minigame. Like, I don't know. But this is my experience with Abrams players. Next up is Apollo, and he is also a hero that you have to carry. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know what it is with this hero, but I just I feel like he doesn't do anything. Like, whenever there's an Apollo in my game, they're always just insignificant. I don't know. Like, they're there. Like, you'll hear them do that ching, 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 ching sometimes in team fights. But, like, other than that, they're just around. They're, like, never carrying a game. But they're also not really feeding that much. They're just there. Like, you have to pick up the extra slack and carry them, but at least they won't be like feeding the enemy most of the time. So, you know, it's not the worst, but for like a carry or a tempo hero, it feels very insignificant. Bebop. He's our first elo terrorist. Like, Bebop players, they only want to play one way. I wanted to say that Bebop players only know how to play one way, but that's not true. They don't know how to play that way. They think they do, but they don't. They will either hook continuously through the entire game with no backup plan. They'll just hook someone and just hope for the best. Or they'll just be running around planting bombs on people. There's no breaking away from these plans. Whatever game plan they have chosen, they will run it down this way for the entire game, no matter what is happening. And most of the time, it doesn't go so good. Sometimes you'll get like an insane Bebop that goes like 20-0, because people don't really know how to deal with this hero if you know how to play him. Like, Bebop is a really good hero if you know how to play him. So, like, when you get the rare Smurf, they really can carry you. But most players don't know how to play Bebop, let's be honest. They're just gonna run around and try to replicate whatever gimmick they've seen. And they're probably gonna fail and feed. And you're gonna lose. Billy. Yeah, I like Billy on my team. Most of the time, I feel I win with Billies on my team. There's like rare occasions where Billies will feed like crazy from the start, and then they'll just disappear into the jungle and farm forever and never re-emerge. But most of the time, I feel like they're at least useful in team fights. I don't have a particularly strong opinion on Billy, but there has been like a lot of moments where I feel like the Billy threw the game for us. But there are a lot of times where I notice that we're winning with him. Also, when I'm playing him, I feel like we're winning. So yeah, this is a hero that I like having on my team. Calico is a hero that's basically won in draft. Not because she's like particularly OP or anything, but people just don't know how to play against this hero. Like, if you have anyone who's played more than like 3 games on Calico on your team, you're winning. She will roam, she will farm, she will steal all the camps, and she'll kill your supports, and she'll pop up and pick off everyone who's low from a team fight. It wouldn't surprise me if her win rate is like 60% or something. Like, I don't know. It's just a free win, feels like. I should play her more. Celeste. This is another hero you have to carry. I just feel like Celestes are anonymous most of the time. Like, they don't do anything. They'll poke around people. They won't feed because it's kind of hard to catch a Celeste in low elo because no one's buying slowing hexes, knockdowns, or phantom strikes. So they'll just fly around, miss all their auto attacks, miss their ulti, occasionally hit their ulti, which is like the only time they're useful. They're like a mosquito, you know? They're annoying. They'll like poke you. They'll fly around you. You'll try to swat them away. If I have Celeste on my team, I don't feel bad, but I also don't feel confident. It's like, you know, I'll have to put in an extra shift. It's okay. It's not the worst, but more often than not, I feel like I'm losing if she's on my team. Doorman is another elo terrorist. Okay, I have learned that when I see this hero in low elo on the enemy team, I am rushing the midwalker. Because as long as the midwalker is up, this hero is a terrorist on the other team. Not an elo terrorist, but an actual menace to my team. But as soon as the midwalker is down, they just, you know, they become irrelevant. They don't know what to do anymore. Because they haven't even learned how to kidnap people on the sidewalkers, only on the midwalker. But that also happens in reverse. Whenever my team loses the midwalker, we might as well be playing 5v6. Like, because Doorman doesn't do anything anymore. Maybe at the late stage, when our base is being pushed in, they can do a little base door gimmick, but but other than that, you know, you're mostly playing a man down with this hero. Drifter. This is supposedly one of the most OP heroes now, and still, I feel like most drifters in my games are the biggest feeders you will ever see. Like, I don't know what it is with this hero, but everyone who plays this hero below Oracle just feeds. Like, I don't know, they can even go like 5-0 at the start of the game and end it 5-20. Like, I don't know what is happening. Like, I played this hero once and I did the same thing. But like, they always feed. They never carry. They're always feeding. You're just losing if he's on your team. Like, let's be honest. You guys know this to be true. Dynamo is a certified vibe assassin. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Pay attention next time you have a Dynamo on your team. But they're almost always passive aggressive. Like, you know those people who at the start of the game will type some stupid stuff like, "Don't feed, guys." 9 out of 10 times, that will be a Dynamo player. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I do know what it is, actually. It's because older people play this character. You know, unks that don't have time to play more than like 1 or 2 games. And they get really, really mad if you ruin their 1 game they have for the day. There's like rare occasions where Dynamos will carry. Dynamos rarely feed. Like, they don't ruin your games a lot of the times. And they can be very useful. But they are one of the biggest vibe assassins in the game. If you kill the vibe, there's also a big chance that you kill the game, because vibes are a big part of winning games. The more people that flame or are pissy or mad, the more likely you are to lose. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it, but it's true. Graves. Okay, this one will be controversial because I know that this is one of the most, if not the most hated hero in low elo. Like, people will constantly complain about Graves, how she's OP, how she's too easy, how she's no-brainer, blah blah blah. But honestly, I feel like this hero doesn't do much, especially after a nerf. There have been periods like when she gets buffed, she can be super annoying and super strong, and then fair game. She is one of the like worst heroes to play against because yeah, she is a very easy hero to play. But I don't know, like if you have just played against a few Graves and you have a vague idea of how to play against her, like I feel like it's hard for her to do anything. I don't like seeing her on my team because, like, when I play Graves, I just split push, get all the walkers within like 20 minutes, and then, you know, hope my team can do the rest. But when I have them on my team, they don't even do that. They just farm the jungle. I don't know what it is with people in low elo and farming the jungle. Like, no one pushes lanes. But you'd at least expect that these, like, split-pushing heroes would do it, but they don't. So your Graves will be in the jungle just slowly farming and doing nothing. At least that's my experience. No walkers will be killed. Grey Talon, another hero you have to carry. I feel like Grey Talons rarely feed, but they also never really carry. I feel all Grey Talons in my games always end up with, like, max 2 or 3 stacks in, like, a 40-minute game. Like, I don't know. And they'll never be in a team fight, that's for sure. They'll be farming on the other side of the map and maybe send a bird, maybe. But even that is rare. But also, like I said, they don't feed that often, so it's not the worst. Haze. Haze is a total coin flip, man. I feel like if I see a Haze on the other team, I'm sweating because they will be plowing through all my teammates 100% of the games. But if she's on my team, the enemy team will be plowing through her. Anyone else feel that way? Like, she's never useful on my team, but on the enemy team, oof, it's the worst hero to see on the enemy team. But there's like rare occasions where, you know, the Haze on my team actually pulls through, but I'd rather see any other carry. Holiday. Holiday is another hero that always wins. I love seeing her on my team. She used to be one of the hardest heroes to play, but after the buffs they gave her, I feel like she just wins every game. No one knows how to deal with this in low elo. She's just flying around, throwing barrels, knocking people around, or kidnapping them. Even the worst Holiday can hit their ult and just pull someone to your team, you know? And then suddenly you're 5v6. Actually, I think this is like a one-in draft hero, not even most likely winning. Infernus, another hero you have to carry. Doesn't do much, just runs around. I guess in like the absolute lowest elos, he's a menace because people will just stand in his fire. But as soon as you leave like the absolute lowest, like Arcanist or whatever, like I feel like they don't do much. They just farm. They'll occasionally come into a team fight, activate their ulti, miss everyone, and then maybe proc an afterburn, and that's it. That's my experience with Infernus on my team. Ivy, on the other hand, I really like seeing on my team. I feel like no one knows how to deal with Ivy. They will just tank her because they think she's a support, and they'll just let her unload the full magazine into them, and suddenly they're wondering, why am I 30% health? People also disregard her when they're doing mid-boss, and they think like, oh yeah, we can safely take it, and then just Ivy comes in, stuns everyone, and steals it. And also, of course, no one knows how to deal with her ulti, so she'll just fly around and be a menace. Yeah, I love seeing Ivy on my team, actually. She's like one of the best supports, I think, right now. As opposed to Kelvin, who is yet another hero you'll have to carry. Before the nerfs to the beam, I feel like Kelvin was actually really good to have in your team because most people build him damage. I think they still do. But now that the beam isn't as good, I feel like he just, you know, He does. What does Kelvin do? He throws around grenades at the laning phase, which I guess is like okay, but I'd rather have someone who actually does real damage. And the late game, he just throws team fights by putting down the worst domes you've ever seen. That's that's basically Kelvin in a nutshell. Geist is another one-in draft type of hero. Not because she's like specifically OP, and maybe she is most likely winning instead of one in draft, because if she's the only carry on your team, it's not as good, I feel like. But having a Geist on your team is really nice. Even in Archon and Oracle too, I feel like people just keep running into her. They will put her down to like 5-10%. She will run around the corner, they will run after her, she'll ult, and then they'll die. And she'll always bring one person with her. So in the worst case scenario, you're at least playing 5v5. I like having Geist on my team. They're decent. Lash always wins. Regardless of what team he is on, he always wins. My team, enemy team, I know what it is with this guy. He's so easy to counter as well. Like in Archon, I feel like people are kind of buying counter abilities, but still, like, he just gets away with everything. Like, he will have a game-winning ult every single game. Every single one. McGinnis, you will have to carry her. I know people hate playing against her. I do too, but I feel like post the Walker phase, she doesn't really do anything. Maybe she's still good at fighting on rifts, but the walls are annoying. I feel like if your team knows to jump her, she's helpless. Mina, also a hero you have to carry. She will always start team fights, be way out of position, and then she'll spend the entire team fight just running away. So maybe she gets her ult off, you know, doesn't proc love bites with it, classic, and then it's time to get away because she's way out of position. That's like every Mina ever. Mirages are a coin flip. I feel most of the Mirages on my team are not very useful. I feel like they don't do anything, and honestly, when I play him, I also feel like I don't do anything. But there are like rare occasions where Mirages will absolutely carry a game, so it's a bit of a coin flip. Mo and Krill, you are most likely winning if this hero is on your team. When I started playing Deadlock in late February, this was like the most hated character in the game. I rarely see people play or talk about him anymore, but whenever I see him, he's just winning because he's so easy to play. Like, if you're burrowed, you barely take damage. If you hit more than one player with your squad, you're full health. All you really need to do is land your ult. Only way you are losing with a Mo on your team is if the whole enemy team has Indomitable and the Mo doesn't know how to proc it before ulting. That's the only way you're losing with this champion on your team. Paige is a certified elo terrorist. Either they are just completely useless and die in 2 seconds, or they're running some stupid ass gun build. Oh. Whenever I see a Paige running a gun build, I am so tempted to just abandon. Like, it's one of the most triggering things in this game right now, I think. I don't know why people do it, because it never works. Paradox is another hero that's won in drafts, even though I feel like she's never the game decider, but I feel whatever team she is on, that team is winning. Does anyone else feel this way? There's just some heroes in this game that you don't feel like they do that much, but somehow they always end up on top. And Paradox is the prime example of this. She's always winning. Pocket is yet another elo terrorist. One of the best characters in the game currently, but in low elo, they will farm jungle and never, ever, ever push a lane. Or you will have a rare occasion where a Pocket thinks he's idle and will spend the entire game fighting and die and go on like 2-20. If you think you've seen a Pocket do anything else than those two options in low elo, I want proof, because that's never happened. Rem is a vibe assassin. Much like Dynamo, I just feel like a lot of people who play Rem are either very toxic or passive aggressive. And Rem's calm a lot, but like I said, very passive aggressively or very flamey. So they kill the vibe a lot of the times if things aren't going well. I also don't feel like they do that much in low elo. Like, they throw out some good ults every now and then, but other than that, they're just stealing your sinners and not much else. 7. If the game is longer than 30 minutes and your 7 has bought Unstoppable, you are winning. If the game is longer than 30 minutes and your 7 hasn't bought Unstoppable, you are losing. There's nothing else to say about 7. That is the only thing that needs to be said. Unstop at 30 minutes, you are winning. No unstop at 30 minutes, you are losing. Shiv is a coin flip. If your Shiv is a one trick, you are definitely winning the game. If you have someone trying out Shiv for the first time, you are definitely losing the game. It is just a hero that is too hard to play for low elo, and if you haven't dedicated your life to playing him, you are just throwing the game. It is what it is. Silver. You are most likely winning with Silver on your team. Even with all the nerfs, people just don't know how to deal with this hero. Whenever she goes into wolf form, she's at least bringing one person with her, if not 2 or 3. People will just tank her, they will see her at low health and they'll think, oh no, I can definitely nuke her down. And then they die. That happens every game. Still, even in Archon and Oracle. So you are winning if you have a silver on your team. Sinclair is an elo terrorist. One of the hardest, if not the hardest character to play in this game. Like, there's no point in playing him if you don't even know how to play the game itself. Even if you get the most dream enemy team with all the best ults, I still don't like seeing this character on my team. I've yet to see a Sinclair really pop off. Venator, you have to carry them. Regardless of what the pros say that he is one of, if not the best carry in the game, the fact is that he is also the only carry that actually requires some skill to play. Like, he is a really good hero, but you have to know what you're doing. You have to land your 2s, you have to use your traps effectively, and you have to hit your ulti, like all 3 of them. And that's just too much to ask in low elo. But you will have some rare Venators that will really pop off and just give you a free win. Victor is a elo terrorist, and this one is personal. I kind of want to put him in coin flip, but I just, from personal experience, if the Victor is on the enemy team, he will carry the game and I will lose. But if he is on my team, he will barely tickle the enemy. Like, he will just run around and he will have the most deaths on the team, which I don't know how they do it. How do you have 15 deaths with this hero? That means you've probably died 30 times. I just don't get it. Like, and when I play this hero, I feel like it's so easy. You just run at people and they die. Whenever Victor is on my team, he might as well be named Tickle Terry because it does absolutely nothing. I hate seeing, like, if I see this hero on my team, I am losing 100%. I don't even have a sliver of hope. And the same goes for Vindicta. I think I have won like 2 games out of my 700 games with Vindicta on my team. I don't know, like, this hero just can't win. Like, you can have a Vindicta that goes like 10-0 in lane and you will still lose. Because once they actually have to move out of the lane and start to position properly, they will just die. And God forbid the enemy buys a knockdown because you know your Vindicta is not buying a dispel. 100%. I actually had Vindicta on a Void for the longest time. Not because I didn't want to play against her, but because I didn't want her on my team. Like, this hero is just a guaranteed L. Unlike Viscus, who is almost a guaranteed W. This is probably the only support that is better than Ivy. I think I said earlier that Ivy is the best support, but Viscus is actually the best support. Even though most people don't really play him support down in low elo, but somehow Viscus almost always ends up with most damage on the team. Maybe there's like a lot of one-trick Viscuses in low elo, but I rarely feel like I lose with him on my team. But even the worst Viscuses will at least cube someone in a team fight. I'm always happy to see Viscus in my team. Always. Viper. Viper is the biggest coin flip in the game. You will either have a Viper who completely 1v6s the entire enemy team. No question. Like, they will never be able to step up to her ever. 10 minutes in the game, she's already 40k souls. Somehow, I don't even know how that's possible, but they will have 40k souls and they will dominate everyone. Or you will have a Viper who is 10k souls 40 minutes into the game. I don't know. There's no middle ground. Warden, another hero you have to carry. I just feel like Wardens don't really do anything. Like, I don't even hate playing against Warden. I think in low elo, a lot of people don't really know how to use his ulti. So most of the time, they're just running around throwing alchemical flask and shooting you. Don't do much else. It's not the worst hero to have in your team, but if he's your only carry, then oof. You're gonna have to put in some work to win that game. Wraith is a coin flip. They will almost always farm the jungle for 30 minutes plus, not joining a single team fight. I know that carries are supposed to farm, but in low elo, they take that too literally. Won't engage in any team fights at any point or any free kills for that matter. They will just farm for 30 or 40 minutes and then they will emerge to join in 1 or 2 fights, and then you either win or lose the game based on that. And she's the prime example of that. If she got to farm in peace for 30 minutes, you are probably winning the game. If she got killed more than 2 times, then it's GG. It is what it is. And lastly, it's Yamato, who I really love seeing on my team, but not in my lane. I hate laning with Yamatos. They're always overextended. They take the worst trades. Like, whenever a Yamato goes to trade, they leave that trade with like 30% health and the enemy leaves like 70. Like, I don't know. Like, it happens every time. But after laning phase, I feel like Yamatos always go on to dominate the game. Regardless if they went 0-5, they will go in like 15-5 at the end of the game. Just like a really good hero to have on my team. And I don't have much to say. I just feel like I always win with Yamato on my team. That about does it. I'd like to know if you guys agree or disagree. I feel like most of you will disagree with the Graves here. But if there's anything else that you think I got wrong here, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.